Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I am What If Studia, and today we are doing What If Deku was Mysterio from the Spider-Man comics, sorry. Mysterio is properly known for his illusion magic, well not magic, actual physical skill in illusions, and also being able to do practical effects, make his enemy think that he's dead, and then come back and defeat them anyways. Let's get into it. So basically, Deku will start off his life normally, I would say. Actually, just fine. However, with a special hatred for Bakugo this time. Instead of being, happy-go-lucky for Bakugo, he's a lot more resilient. Not resilient, but sort of offended by by Bakugo's sort of attacks. Instead of trying to help Bakugo, once he hears that Bakugo actually wants to be a hero, that just confuses him so much. It confuses him so that he gives up on being Bakugo's friend. As, well, if he's friends with him and he wants to be a hero, he's just going to murder people as a hero. He would never be a hero. He could never be a hero. As such, they start to fight, and ending up with Bakugo basically blowing away Deku with his sheer power. Deku resents him for using that sheer power against a quirkless boy, as soon he turns 5, gaining a quirk of his own. Nothing. So this makes him resent Bakugo even more. Him and Bakugo start to have this hate-filled sort of relationship, where Deku is constantly trying to one-up Bakugo with different tactics, sort of going for the wrestling route at the start, as he can tell that, that is probably the best choice that he has. It works for a little while until Bakugo comes in and just explodes the ground from under him. Then he tries all these different techniques, smoke bombs, different stuff that he learns how to create over online. Over the internet. The internet can teach you a shit ton of stuff now. Actually, searching for all this stuff gets him searched by the CIA. Or should I say the VHA, the Villain Hunting Association, as they hunt down people before they become villains. They mostly search up online, that's how they kind of work. Now, they sort of, try to tackle him and stuff. They send CIA agents down to his house and detain him, bringing him back to their HQ. Now, they start to question Deku, asking him where he got his scars from, all these blast marks on his back and his front end and his eyes. Before he answers the question, he asks them a question, as he picks out a pocket watch that he holds behind his head. As they know that this is just a simple mind-controlling trick, they don't look at it. However, they stare straight into his eyes instead. Now, this was exactly what he was planning. They're both now stunned, and also are very concussed. They start to follow his eyes as they start to get woozy and completely cut out. They're both now mind-controlled. He sees that one of the CIA people is actually Aizawa, one of the top-ranked heroes. Surprised at this, he's like, I think I should go with you, of course. So he tells Aizawa, commands him actually, to pretend to be cuffing him and bring him down the hallway to his supersuit. Yes, the original supersuit from Mysterio's, with the fishbowl and the super powers and everything. Well, superpowers isn't just laser beams and then cloak, then gas. That's about it. No armor or anything. It's a very basic prototype. As he brings him into the room, he's quite happy and pleased with this ending up goal. He can just get in it and soar right out of there. As such, he just climbs onto it and clamps himself into it. However, this suit shortages out. It starts to malfunction, as it is still a prototype. He did not account for this. All the scientists start to try to shut him down, as his sheer willpower breaks him out of the control of the scientists. As he forces his hand up, a sudden sort of parallelogram shows up around his hand and then fires a laser beam at the wall behind him, crushing it and molding it, giving way to the outside world. He flies out as fast as he can and ends up in LA. He did not expect this. He had always wanted to be a movie director, though. That would be fun. However, when he flies down sort of thinking that maybe he could become a hero over here. They have no heroes over there. So he's taken as a actor. Well, they're currently shooting an action scene. As they all think that he's doing that, suddenly he's invited into this sort of scene of acting and putting up stages and all this stuff and figuring out practical effects, which he takes to easily. Over the next year, once he turns 15, he has become an actual genius in the realm of practical effects, being able to survive huge falls with the suit, and mostly using attaching a lot of practical effects, like the laser beam now actually exudes gas just like everything else does in his suit, and also he can make the fishbowl not be able to be see-through. So basically, he becomes much better at that. However, he still remembers his grudge. Now that he has the super suit, he can, and he's filled out his debt from, being stuck in a foreign country. He finally has made enough money from practical effects to go back to Japan. Now, when he goes back to Japan, he figures out that Bakugo is basically going to, the main high school of the place, My Hero. So basically, he says, I'll go there too then, as it was my original goal to prove to him that he cannot be a superhero. So he starts his long trudge to the school as he stops by his mother's house to tell her that he's fine and still alive. As it's already he goes on to see to the Coliseum, this sort of testing grounds as he remembered them to be. The test was just about to begin. All the students outside starting to crowd into the theater. The suit, however, cannot go. They told him that he had to make it himself or leave it behind. He says, fine, I'll leave it behind, but all the rest of the stuff that's inside the suit, you better not touch it. I'm gonna bring everything else. So he brings his smoke grenades, different stuff that he had crafted over the years, a grappling hook too, and all different types of stuff that would help him in multiple situations against Bakugo, and even a explosion-proof shield that would help him a shit ton. So basically, he walks into it looking around for Bakugo. As he wasn't invited into there, a lot of people start asking him questions that he doesn't want to answer, and then they start to get started as he buys himself enough time with by smoking himself and then getting to the other side of the map, looking around for Bakugo again. However, unable to find him, he is sadly defeated. And then he meets Uraraka, who asks him what he's looking around for. If he was to answer that, well, he would have to kill her. She giggles a little bit at this, but is also very worried what exactly he meant by that. However, they hear, go! There is no counting down and a real fight. As suddenly everybody starts going, and both Uraraka and him are very worried about their scores now, because Deku, of course, did do studying upon about what exactly he would be going through here. And he's like, shit, I actually have to do this? Whatever. Maybe I'll have another chance to fight Bakugo once I get into this place. Fine, I'll do it. As she's like, okay, fine, just get your ass in gear. They start running out as he searches around for Bakugo, finding nothing during the whole entire fight, during all of the fighting. And so he gives in to sort of a little bit of his inner rage, wasting a lot of his smoke bombs to get out of huge situations, and then firing the grappling hook straight into some of the robots, which then he attaches it to Ida's legs, and he tells him to just keep on running. So Ida just basically runs around, forcing this robot to crash into multiple other robots, like a robot robot mace, as he keeps on running in a circle, destroying all the robots around him, and basically clearing out the whole field. There was only left was the city, which then Bakugo and him heard Uraraka. Ida and him heard Uraraka. He sees Ida hesitate and grabs his grappling hook, firing it off, and then lifting himself to the rooftops. Looking over and seeing Uraraka about to be crushed, there's not much he can do about it. However, somebody else does. Bakugo. His rage starts to return to him as he thought he was just about to act upon, saving Uraraka until Bakugo got in his way again. This idiot, this absolute jerkweed, just always gets in his way, angering himself even more and more and more until it builds up to the point where he can't handle it anymore. Screaming Bakugo at the loudest that he can, before Uraraka can even thank anybody, a grappling hook is shot down to Bakugo's shoulder, grappling him and pulling him up to the sort of city above, the skyscrapers. They start fighting as, the robot is basically being ignored here, which the robot does not like. However, Uraraka actually finds a way to defeat the gigantic robot herself. She starts lifting up all the rocks around her, and one gigantic one, which then she waits for the robot to try to grab Deku, which it is successful in. He cannot grapple hook his way out of this. As it starts to crush him, she lets go of one of the gigantic boulders, crushing its head in, causing it to fall to the ground, dead. Deku gets up, almost thanking her, until he gets a mean strike to the face from Bakugo, and then almost gets blown to smithereens until he configures a explosion-proof shield, saving himself, and then they call time. As then they have professional heroes jump in and separate them from each other. Anyways, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching my world. And I'll see you sometime, somewhere. Bye-bye.
Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie when I made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit up, I feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,